So good morning, everyone. My name's Cassidy Bast, and I'm the Director of Career Development and Marketing for RE/MAX Crest and Masters. We're a group of 6 RE/MAX offices across Greater Vancouver, and today we are doing a special edition of Outstanding Agents, Outstanding Results. We have 4 guests joining us who are all in their first year in the real estate business and are already finding considerable success. So today we're going to have a chance to get to know these 4 agents. We're going to be talking about what a day in the life of a new realtor looks like, the challenges they faced, how this career has stacked up to what they were expecting, their strategies for building their business, and we're going to talk about what they've learned so far that they can share with those of you that are watching that are new as well and that are just getting started in this industry. So I am going to add these 4 agents to the screen. Sunny, Milton, Sharuz, Mina, welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining me today.
Hey, Cassidy.
So to get started, I would love it if you guys could share a little bit about yourself, your business, and your success so far.
So, Sunny, going in order, I'll start. And thank you for the compliment of calling me successful. I feel happy and successful. I think that counts. So I've been a licensed agent for 9 months. I'm in the North Vancouver office, and I only work with first-time home buyers because those are the people who don't have a real estate agent and are looking for one and end up with me. So mostly been in North Vancouver, Burnaby, a little bit downtown.
That's great. Awesome. And you have been, we track like our new agent success. You've been one of our top new agents since you got started coming up on our charts there, month over month. So congrats on that for getting those deals together. And I know you're working with some established agents as well. Is that right?
Absolutely. This is not my first new career. I've started over a couple of times, and every time I find I don't have to reinvent the wheel. This has been done before. So find a mentor who is generous. So if I have something to offer them to help save them time, that helps them make some more money. If you just have to find seasoned agents who are willing to maybe help bring you up with them. That's been very helpful for me.
That's great. Yeah, that's great, Sunny. Wonderful. Milton.
Hey, yeah, so my name is Milton. I'm with the Richmond office. I actually just started in September, but it's been a really awesome experience so far. I'm actually working with my brother. We actually have a team together, so it's a lot of fun. We do a lot of deals together as well, but I'm really enjoying being a realtor so far.
That's great. Thanks for joining. Awesome. Sharuz, you're next up.
This is Sharuz Marodian. I work in the RE/MAX Masters in West Vancouver. I just started officially in November. So it's about 6 months that I'm working as a realtor. And I'm super happy working with RE/MAX.
Awesome. Thanks for joining. Mina, hello.
Hi, my name is Mina Himoni, and I work at RE/MAX Crest in Burnaby off of Kingsway. I've been licensed for about a year and a month now.
That's great. Well, thanks for joining. And I see again, all of you guys are doing so many deals. It's so great to see. One of the things that excites me most in my career and in my position is to bring new agents on board and see them finding success and doing lots of business, as quickly as possible in their careers. So this is great. I'd love to talk to you guys about how you plan your days for success and what your days kind of look like now, and how does that compare to when you were first getting started in the business? So Sunny, why don't we start with you?
I make a point every evening. I make a point to look at what tomorrow is going to bring, so that I can make sure, I do have a Zoom meeting at 9 a.m. I better be ready for, or I don't have anything going on that day. I can catch up on paperwork, reading. But I find when I started, I spent more time reconnecting with people who are already in my world and doing some research to educate myself so that I could bring value to people when they had a question. And now I spend more time actually talking to people about finding homes and executing transactions. But before, it was reestablishing connections and making sure I was prepared to go if somebody needed something.
Yeah, that's right. Building that knowledge base up. Yeah, for sure. Great. And Milton, how about you? How does that compare to what things look like for yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I think when I first started, I was definitely more so like shadowing, right? Learning from other realtors, seeing how they do certain activities, how they talk to clients, how they talk to other realtors, just kind of seeing how their day-to-day goes. And for me, the whole point of me starting out with, my brother was to learn and to have that mentor and to have someone to lean on. And that definitely helped me a lot. Again, I was also kind of reestablishing my network a lot, reconnecting with friends, family, old colleagues, just letting them know that I've made that switch in my career. And now for sure, I'm more on the road, doing a lot more tours, dealing with clients as well, trying to find properties for them. But I still try to find times even today to continue to educate myself. And I think real estate's one of those careers where you're never going to stop learning. There's so much to learn every single day, and I'm still fascinated by it every single time I learn something new. So it's been good for sure.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think new agents are like a little bit like sponges when they first get started.
Correct.
And one of the pieces of advice that I often give to someone getting started in the industry, I usually like to catch them, early on in their course and start developing a relationship with them, at that stage. And I always say, if you can spend you get so consumed with the book and the studying and the material and the textbooks like this, right? But if you can spend a bit of time tacked on at the end of your studying, working on learning the practical aspects of the business and, seeing, what, news articles are being posted and understanding the market and these sorts of things. You just do a little bit of that each time that you study, that can really help prepare you for success. And you're going to feel a lot more confident by the time that you actually get a license and get started too.
Totally. I think it's good to continue to learn and get that knowledge, but the hands-on experience is second to none, right? And that's probably the most challenging thing, I think, as a new realtor, is to learn the hands-on side of the business. And I think I was relatively fortunate to have someone to lean on to just watch for, a couple of months to see how they do things, right?
That's great. Yeah, that's great for sure. That shadowing and in the field and learning the lingo and
exactly.
Yeah, that's great. Shahruz, how does that compare to your experience?
It's pretty challenging. And when you start this industry, so do not take it easy because it needs lots of effort and hard work. And I would say whatever I learned in the book from the UBC Sauder, so I'm using every single day. So I heard from the people that, those are just things that you have to do the exam and after that you never use it. I don't think so, because every corner of those things I learned, because education is the top. When someone hiring me as a realtor, so that means they need me because they don't have enough knowledge. They hired me because they're hiring me only for my knowledge. If I don't have enough knowledge and I cannot pass it to my client, so why they hire me? Even you have to have proper knowledge from the mortgage, from the commercial, from the industrial, from every corner, because lots of times clients coming to you and they're just the investors and they don't know which part of the industry is the best for investment. So you are the one, you have to pass them the great knowledge that you learned from the experience that from Sauder, from Remax, and pass it to the client. Then when they're more educated, your life is easier because you can deal with them much, much easier.
Yeah, that's right. I always like to say that, if you focus on doing things right and expanding your knowledge base, then the money will follow, because that's what it takes.
Definitely, people are paying you because you have the knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge, second call, they don't respond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Mina, how about you? How do you plan your days for success, and how does that what you do now in your day? How does that compare to when you were first getting started a year ago?
Well, I had an interesting start to my career. I got licensed back in March 2020 when the COVID-19 pandemic was ramping up in the Lower Mainland. I'd spend most of my days studying the market and reaching out to really anyone I possibly could to inform them that I'm now a licensed agent. It was extremely tough for me as I couldn't really go on with normal opportunities that would have been available prior to COVID, such as an open house or door knocking. Compared to now I run with full confidence online, meeting people through Zoom, interacting with people online, and continue to study market trends.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, some common threads here, that knowledge, especially in that first year, and soaking up as much as you can about the market and the industry is absolutely important cornerstone for your business.
For sure, it's key.
Yeah, and the other thing too, I'm hearing from you guys is we've got a saying that goes, don't be a secret agent. So
Absolutely.
making, that first year is about outreach and reconnecting and letting everyone know what you're up to and what you're doing and how you can help. Yeah.
Sure.
Great. So the next question I have for you guys, obviously starting a new career in a new industry comes with plenty of challenges. What have some of the biggest challenges been for you in starting your real estate career? And what have you done to overcome those challenges? Sunny, why don't we start with you?
Well, it's like Mina said, we started in a pandemic. So the traditional things of, hey, I'm going to go to an open house and find some buyers who are unrepresented. No, you are not going to do that. So the challenge is finding qualified buyers. And because I don't know any better, I don't know how to do it in the before times. I only know how to do it in the pandemic. So what I've been doing is what everyone else has been doing, reaching out to my circle of friends, not to get things from them, but to reconnect. And especially in a pandemic, people have been so isolated. It's a very natural, easy thing to do is call and genuinely ask people how they're doing. And then also, of course, shadowing and connecting with other agents. The real estate market, I don't know if you've heard, it's been a little hot. And some of the established agents just don't have time for their new leads. And so if they know you're available, they'll say, hey, kid, run with it, knock yourself out. So finding qualified buyers has been just the biggest difficulty.
Yeah, absolutely.
But putting myself out there and making sure people know I'm available is been the way to overcome it.
Yeah, that's right. So you found those qualified buyers through your network of people that you've known and people that you've reached out to then.
Yeah. And you have to be willing to follow up with cold leads. You have to be consistent. And for me, having a system for understanding, is somebody a qualified buyer or are they just asking questions? Mm-hmm. And knowing how to not weed people out, but prioritize people who are ready to buy a house and then helping educate people who are a little further away from that goal.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, how you focus your time is so important and really dictates your success. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that took a while to figure out.
Yeah, it can for sure. Milton, how about you? What has been the biggest challenge for you in getting started?
Yeah, I think there's probably two big items for me. I think leads for sure was probably one of the big ones as well. I think walking into the industry, it was like, where am I going to get all these clients? And I saw my dad go through real estate, his entire life, my brother as well. And, they used to do the traditional ways of obviously helping someone with an open house, get some buyers, maybe do some door knocking in specific neighborhoods. But because of obviously COVID, we had to kind of alter our marketing tactics. So I thought that was a little bit challenging for sure. But it was good because I had the opportunity to be creative and try to think outside the box, right? And I think I've been benefiting for that for sure. And then the second one is definitely the hands-on experience. So, after doing the course, you're taking in so much knowledge, but the hands-on experience and the actual confidence in doing it is very different. And I still feel like the course itself, you learn a lot, but you don't learn everything. And I don't think it's possible to learn everything. So for me, just having my mentor come with me on buyer tours or watching him at his buyer tours to ask the right questions, to know, what you should know about every single building when talking to a client, I think was crucial. So for me, that whole learning curve was pretty steep. But I think having that mentor definitely helped me.
For sure. Yeah. You don't know what you don't know, right? When you're coming
for
in.
sure. For sure.
Yeah. So it's easy to get intimidated, or, having that mentor can just be, just such a boost in confidence when you're working with clients.
Exactly.
And it makes you feel that you're going to do a really great job for them, not going in and not knowing what you're doing. So yeah, no, that's great. Yeah. And you mentioned altering tactics. What did that look like for you in your business?
Yeah. So I think in the beginning, I was hoping, like when I was taking the course, I'm going to do all these traditional ways to market my business. And, once I actually passed the course and became licensed, reaching out to my network became such a bigger aspect of my business than I thought it would be, right? I'm calling people that maybe I haven't spoken to in a couple years, right? Just to reconnect and catch up with them. I run my business a lot on social media, so I'm pretty big on that. And I do a lot of social media marketing, which has been huge for me, just because if I can't necessarily be at their door, I want to be in another position where they can still see me, right? And social media for me has been that outlet where I can still get that exposure without directly being there physically.
Yeah,
right.
That's right. Yeah, you got that online visibility, and it's a great way to connect. Yeah,
exactly.
Great. Sharuz, you already mentioned, just the challenge, that you've experienced challenges getting started. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Now, as Sonia and Mentos mentioned, so the main problem is the leads. So you have to find the database that people are the qualified buyers, or the cold buyers that one day they're gonna be actual buyers from you. So you have to count on every single person, because you don't know. Sometimes people are calling you from your social media or from your old friends, and you think, oh, they're not the right buyers, they're not qualified, but they might be. So I would say count on every single person. You cannot judge because of something that they're not ready. They might be ready. Maybe they don't disclose everything to you, but they're ready. So this is the thing that I try to be stick hard to every single person. And other than that, so I had a goal. So my goal was I wanted to sell at least 10 in 1 year. So far I had 7. So in 6 months, so I'm catching up to my goal. And so this achievement, it was hard work, but I would say you need to have some tools. It doesn't matter which industry you walk in, because I'm a mechanical engineer. I did work. I graduated from BCIT, and I did work in the manufacturing for a long time. One thing I learned that you have to have a goal. If you don't have a goal, so you're so distracted. Every day you don't know what is your plan for tomorrow. You have to have plan every day, every second, every minute. And so what I did, so I tried to set up a very good marketing on social media, and that was a great help for me. And the other tools are websites. I would say you need to have a great website. Actually, last week I had a very good website. It was very good looking, but it wasn't something that is helping me. I realized that, this website, it's not a great website, so I had to change it. It was pretty expensive, so it cost me a lot of money every month. And so I chose this website. I would say check out my website, please, anybody watching this video now. So shahruzrealestate.com is one of the user-friendly and super powerful website that I launched it last week. And you can find whatever you need, and you can detail every needs that you have for your near purchase, or you're selling your property. So even you're selling your property, you can get the right price for your property with my website. Please try it.
When we're done this, maybe throw you can, all of you guys are welcome to throw maybe your Facebook pages or your websites in the chat below or in the comments below, so that people can find you. Yeah, that's great. Mina, how about you? What did you find most challenging as you were getting started, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, so the most challenging part for me was choosing to go individually rather than working with a team. The challenge with that was I literally went on with like blindfolds on my eyes, not knowing what to do, where to start, all of that. But luckily I overcame that with practice and knowledge from other colleagues that I reached out to. And I just didn't realize that real estate had so many aspects to it. There's a contract, there's showings, there's listings, there's a commercial side to share purchase sales, assets, leasing and stuff. But I'm glad I obtained all the knowledge I have now, and I look forward to learning more.
Yeah, that's right. And, I think you touched on something that a lot of new agents feel when they get started. It's like, okay, all of a sudden you're working for yourself, you're an entrepreneur, you don't have a boss, you've got all this time in a week, maybe, 40, 50 hours you want to work. And it's like, what do I do? And,
Exactly.
You kind of brought that up, Shahrouz, you brought that up on the topic of having a goal, because that, that goal gives you a direction of focus of how you're going to work, and you take those baby steps, every day to reach it. But yeah, I think that's a common sentiment for new agents getting started. Yeah, that's great. So I'm curious for you guys, what was unexpected for you about this career? Or, what do you wish you knew prior to getting started, or wish that you could have prepared more for prior to getting started? Sunny, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, for me, the biggest surprise was other agents are much kinder than I was led to believe. I told people, I'm like, I'm going to be a realtor. And they're like, oh, you have to be careful. Those people are sharks. There's some really nasty ones. You need to watch out for so-and-so and so-and-so. I'm like, what? Okay. So I was led, people had this kind of impression that it's just this ruthless, cutthroat. And yeah, some people are, they really prefer to work alone and not share how the secrets to their success. And that's fine, but you have to recognize who the lone wolves are and let them go do your thing. And then if you're a pack animal, you go find your pack. You just have to find,
And so many of our existing agents, or almost all of them, had someone help them when they got started in this career. And so, so our agents are, for the most part, so great, and, having that open door, willing to share and all of that, and don't see that as being a threat to their success or their business.
No, and some people are just so busy and on a roll, they just don't have time to deviate from their game right now. And that's not personal, but it also doesn't make them unkind. They're just busy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Milton, how about you?
For me, I think one of my actual biggest fears, I was actually been considering real estate for like the past 5 years, and I just started this past year, of course, but my biggest fear was actually my age. Okay. I just turned 24 on Sunday, and my mindset was, maybe because I'm so young, no one's going to trust me, right? That was going through my head a lot of the time. And, for me, once I actually got into the business, if you're confident and you know what you're talking about, you can get a client, right? And I think that's one thing I slowly learned, and it took a little bit of time to build that confidence because, again, the hands-on experience took me a while to get used to. But I wish someone just told me when, I was 18 or 19, when I was thinking about going in, like, just do it, take the leap of faith, and be confident in yourself, and do the actions to be successful, right? Because I think a lot of people want success and they have a goal in mind, but they forget the most important parts, which is the actual actions, right? So I think it doesn't matter what type of person you are or age or anything. I think as long as you work hard and you're confident and you're personable, I think you'll have success in the business.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, being that successful person, like actually being it and doing those things that, and taking some time to reflect on what that means for you. And then just like you say, like taking action on those things. That's all.
Exactly.
That's all it really is. Yeah, great. Shahrouz, how about you? Was there anything that was unexpected for you about this career, or, anything that you feel like you wish you could have prepared a little bit more for ahead of time?
I personally am a very kind person. And
Yes.
so anytime anybody asking me a question, so I always try to answer that question on the detail and with the best answer. But when I jumped to this industry, so I learned, it doesn't work like here, because I had friends, I had, other colleagues that I asked them for help. And so nobody helping you, maybe as Sunny mentioned, so they're busy or they want something on return.
Yeah.
So that was something that's okay. So I don't mind helping the other people, and at the return, they're gonna teach me a little bit more and add to my knowledge base. But it wasn't that easy. So I realized that okay, so I have to pick from the people like a shark. So I decided, okay, I need to be a shark. Otherwise, I cannot survive on this industry. And so that was very challenging and very unexpected for me. And right now I'm in a good path. So I just watch everybody from the far side and whatever they're doing. So I just pick the good part from the different top agents. Always, I would mention always to everybody as a new agent. So try to have the top agents, top producers in your Facebook, in your Instagram. Follow them because you can learn from them. Because they don't have time to teach you, but you can learn from the far side. So that's the only thing.
That is, that's such great advice, because there's a lot of agents out there that are successful at what they're doing. And yeah, just being able to, pay attention to, what you like or what attracts, you to them about, how they're engaging in their business. Maybe it might be they're doing market updates every month and you think, yeah, maybe I want to incorporate that in my business. So watching, everything's on social media these days, so it's super accessible. And then you can, everything in life, I think, is a sense of, ripping off and duplicating it, but making it your own, right? So yeah, there's
not
a lot.
Copycatting, but I don't believe on copycatting, but I believe that you can pick the good part from every person and just make it under your name. So but it's not stealing from the people, but you have to be smart. Like even I mentioned like about my website. So every person has a website. Every realtor has a website. On the bottom of their website, you can see who was the developer of that website. I went to like maybe 100 different websites to check this one, to check that one. Pick up my phone, talk with the different website designer, and I realized, oh, this is the top one. This is the best one. And so why I don't go to the top one? So that's it. So people, they don't have time to teach you unless you have a good mentor. That's a different story. And mentor, it's good, it's great if you have time. If you have time to learn. But if you want to learn very fast, then you have to learn it yourself.
Yeah, great point, Shahrouz. Mina, how about yourself? What didn't you expect coming into this, or is there anything you feel like you wish you did maybe even differently getting started?
I agree with Milton on this one, as we're relatively the same age. I thought that with age comes trust, although I learned that trust is built between person to person from within. Age doesn't matter. What I wish I knew starting this industry was expect the unexpected, I guess.
Be okay with that. Yeah, that's great, guys. So, we've already touched on this a little bit, but obviously one of the biggest challenges in, getting your business off the ground is finding business, finding clients. So I'm curious, what have been the best sources of business for you so far? And I'm wondering if you have any tips about building a business that you could share with those that are just getting into this industry.
The best source of clients for me has been other agents and my own personal network. And the way I made that work was by being familiar to people, reminding them that I'm here and what I do. Not constantly selling, because people do not like to be sold to. But, there's a lot of talk about how to use social media. One of the things I do with it is I don't necessarily post a lot, but I engage a lot, so that I am familiar to people. And if they want to reach out to me, it's real easy because I'm there all the time in their feed anyway, right? So that's been helpful.
Yeah, that's great. And I think what maybe wouldn't be expected for a new person getting in, that you said you're getting business, from other agents. Mm-hmm. And that just goes to
I did not expect that.
Yeah, it's in this profession, being a professional and being really professional with your colleagues and your peers really helps to facilitate good business. And yeah, there's agents that are too busy. I just had an agent yesterday ask me, "Hey, do you have any key new agents? I've got leads that I can't handle. I want to be able to hand that off to somebody." So there's lots of opportunities that come this way. And Sunny, one thing that you have just done so well since you've come on board to our organization is you really participated in everything. And I think you were present, and I think people really got to know you that way. And whether it's joining in our training sessions, coming to our office meetings, and sharing and collaborating and connecting, that's probably helped you quite a bit.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So Milton, how about you? What has been the best source of business for you so far? And do you have any tips for someone wanting to build their business?
Yeah, for sure. So aside from network, I think my biggest source is probably social media. So on there, I do post relatively a lot. And I do think in real estate, perception is a really big factor, right? So for me, I like to post market updates, market trends, maybe sometimes even offering something, right? So I go to a lot of pre-sale events, right? And a lot of my followers will just message me, "Hey, what is the price on this?" And I can create that conversation and engagement through something I can offer to them. But I'm not directly actually reaching out to them. I'm putting the information out there and they can reach out to me. And even if they're not interested in real estate right now, they're seeing my stories, they're seeing my posts all over their feed. And when it does come time, I'm already in their mind because they've seen me post multiple times. So social media for sure is probably one of my biggest outlets right now for leads.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, yeah, you're staying top of mind. And I think what you're doing is you're positioning yourself as an expert. You're showing that you have activity going on. You're showing that what's coming up on the market for projects, like you've said, and that sort of a thing. So people start to see you as someone who knows what's going on in the real estate industry.
Exactly. You have to offer something to someone in order for them to reach out to you. Right. I think if you just post something, I think it helps, right? Because it creates perception. But if you have some sort of call to action or post something that's interesting that they might relate to, I think there's a higher chance they might reach out to you as a potential client.
Yeah, absolutely. Great advice. Shahruz, how about for yourself? Best source of business for you?
I tried to grab my camera at first, because I had no listing. I didn't have any potential buyers at first. And the first couple of months was very challenging. So I got scared. And I was watching, wow, everybody's selling, and I'm not selling. So that's the problem. And so I got scared. And I realized, okay, so what can I do? So the best source was for me, the pre-sales. And I decided to choose an area for myself. So my area was only North Shore. I said, no matter what, I can sell or no, I'm going to stick to my area. And so I chose the North Shore. I grabbed my camera. I went to every single pre-sale. I covered a great video, like a person is sitting there. So I tried to cover every corner, answer all the questions that I had it. Like I put myself as a buyer, okay, and I tried to bring every corner as a buyer, every question that they might have. And so I post those videos from the great project in North Shore in my social media, on my Facebook, on my Instagram, on YouTube, on my LinkedIn. And so my first couple role was selling from the pre-sales. So that was pretty handy. But after that, I tried to check the other options. Like there is lots of other options, but you have to give it a try because if you don't try, you don't know. Like one of the options is like Buzz Home. So the Buzz Home is one of the top website for people buying the pre-sales, but it didn't work very well for me. It was super expensive and the outcome was almost zero. So I stopped it. And I have always, I try, I give it a try, I spend money, and it's not cheap. So, when you want to try something, that's going to cost you a couple $1,000. Just try it. Didn't work. Next run. Try something different. And so eventually if you stick to your goal, you can achieve it.
Great, thanks, Sharuz. Mina, how about for you? Where are you finding success in finding clients?
So the best source for me has been referrals. I find that providing clients with a stress-free and positive experience really comes back to you. Client experience is so important because it can either hinder or help, the amount of referrals you get. I've been able to obtain more clients based on simply referrals, just word of mouth. And yeah.
Did that take a little while? Like how long did it take before you were starting to kind of get referrals? Was there a moment there where you're thinking, oh, nothing's happening, or did it happen pretty quickly?
Absolutely. There was probably a 3-month gap where I had no action going on and I was freaking out thinking, where is everyone hiding? Is anyone ready to buy? Is everyone ready to sell? But after those 3 months, I actually got maybe 5 clients in hand within 2 weeks.
Wow. Yeah. So that's great. It reminds me just of, the idea that, a lot of what we're doing, we don't see results for right away. Right.
Absolutely.
So it's like, we're planting the seed and we've got to water it and give it light and all of these sorts of things. And all these roots are, growing underneath the soil that, we don't necessarily see, but are going to be really helpful for us in the future for our growth. So that's a great reminder for everyone. Yeah. Great, you guys. The next question I have is, what is something that you've learned that could be beneficial for a new agent getting started in this industry? And I know we've talked a lot about a lot of those things so far. So if there's anything that you could add on that topic, Sunny, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, and it goes back to what Sharuz said about keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. So learn how the real estate transaction actually happens from start to finish. And the different steps of that. And then what has been very helpful for me is for every client, I have a very specific checklist we go through. And then I treat all of my clients exactly the same. If I've known them for 10 minutes, if I've known them for 10 years, they go through the checklist. I treat everyone exactly the same because then nothing falls through the cracks. I don't miss anything. I don't treat anyone special or other. Just have a system and stick to it every time.
That's great. Yeah, and that's something that we give to our new agents when they get started, is a really detailed checklist of all of the activities an agent at the top of their game does with the client. So, going above and beyond. And, for example, working with buyers, that checklist is 3 pages long. Yep. So you can imagine, as a new agent, without having something like that to lean on, you're adding too much guesswork to the equation. And
yes, take the guesswork out. Yeah. Figure out what it is and then do it every time.
Great advice. Milton, what advice do you have for people getting started in the business?
I would definitely say just take the leap of faith and do the actions. I think when you first get started, there's going to be a lot of opportunities where you'll be very uncomfortable. And I think that's okay. You have to be uncomfortable to make that situation in the future more comfortable, right? So I remember like my first buyer tour, I was super nervous. Luckily, my mentor came with me. So any questions I didn't know how to answer, I can lean on him. Aside from that, going to my first pre-sale event, right? Trying to ask the correct questions, right? I was a little bit more on the shy side, but now because I've been through, a lot of these experiences, I can go to these, buyer tours and pre-sale events, and I know exactly what information I need as a realtor to educate my clients. Another suggestion I would say is be ready to face rejection, right? Because rejection is pretty huge in real estate. And for me, I pick up the phone, I cold call every now and then, and you might not always get a yes. And that's okay, because the more no's you get, the closer you are to that next yes, right? So for me, every single time I get a no, it's not like I'm going to be down on myself. I'm actually going to be like, okay, that's awesome, because I'm going to be closer to that next person that's going to be my client, right? So those are probably my 2 big keys for anyone who's new to the industry or coming up.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. I actually read a book once called Go for No. Nice. Exactly on that philosophy. Anyone who's interested, is a quick, super easy read, but told like a story. But that's a really great philosophy to have for anyone in sales. Yeah, Great. Sharuz, how about yourself? What have you learned that you feel could be helpful for someone getting started?
I would say, because I decided to be a realtor because I had few times very bad experiences myself getting from the other realtors. So that was the main reason that I said, oh, I deserve better, and why we should not give a great service to our clients. So when I got the realtors, I realized, okay, I want to have the same goal, which is great top service always to the client, no matter if they are going to buy or no. It happened to me. I stopped my client from buying. It was ready to buy, but it wasn't good purchase for them. I stopped them. I didn't make money, but I didn't ruin my reputation. So I know one day they're gonna come back to me, but they never forget because I stopped them from losing money. Because right now, or even in the past few months, it was pretty challenging for everybody, buyers, sellers, realtors, on the multiple offer situation. And the multiple offer situation, it could be pretty challenging because you go somewhere, you want to buy something for your client, and they're asking a subject-free contract. So an offer subject-free, that means you're closing your eyes and you're going to a tunnel and you're not sure what's going to happen. So I never let any of my clients to go through this situation. I stop them, and with the great service. So always I try to pass the great service with the open eyes.
Yeah, that's so huge. That's great. This is it's a repeat and referral business, and so yeah, doing a great job that first time is so important.
Because you're not on this industry for 1 day, 2 days. If you're staying to this industry, so you have to keep your reputation on the top. Yeah. The top realtors, they started with the reputation. They stick to their reputation. You hear lots of bad realtors that people are not happy. They done one time, never come back to them again. So reputation is the top. That's something that you should not lose your reputation because of making like a couple $1,000.
Of course, yeah, it's that long game for sure. Thanks, Sharuz. Mina, how about you? What would you like to share on this?
I would say have confidence and don't be afraid to reach out for help. Yep. This may seem obvious, but they're absolute game changers. For myself, I always ask my managing broker for help, and if he's busy or I don't feel like bothering him, I will reach out to a successful agent who doesn't even know me. I'll just reach out, tell them who I am, and ask my question and get an answer from there. Everyone has been super kind, so that's worked out.
That's awesome. Yeah, great advice. Yeah, you don't have to do this alone, and yeah, you got lots of people out there to support you.
For sure.
So I would love for you guys all to share just a little bit about your experience in working with RE/MAX and how that's been for you. Sunny, did you want to?
Sure. I'm very pleased that I chose RE/MAX. First of all, name brand recognition. I don't have to explain who RE/MAX is and what they do. You get Cassidy. Cassidy just shows up and guides you through the system. It's been fantastic. And then there's all sorts of online learning and resources. And again, I don't have to reinvent the wheel. This has been done before. RE/MAX has all the resources to help you get to where you want to go.
Awesome. Thanks, Sunny. And thanks for that shout out.
Absolutely.
Milton, how about you?
Extremely happy with RE/MAX. I think the brand was a big factor for me, right? You don't have to explain too much to your clients who RE/MAX is. I think it kind of creates that trust before you even meet them, right? So I think with that branding, I think it helps a lot. The support has been really good, right? So if I need help, managing brokers ready to answer any questions, colleagues as well, super friendly. And another reason why I really appreciate RE/MAX right now, especially, is because I surround myself with so many successful realtors, and it drives me, right? So, I do see RE/MAX as one of the top real estate companies in BC and Canada and worldwide. And by me following all these people on social media and seeing people at the office and they're doing multiple deals, I'm like, okay, I better get my stuff going because I want to catch up to them, right? So I'm the type of person I get more energy when I surround myself with people that are kind of like-minded and are extremely driven and motivated. And I think with the RE/MAX culture, that's what you get, right? You're going to get pushed out of your comfort zone a little bit. and you're going to try to push for your goals and exceed those goals even more.
That's great. That's great, Milton. Yeah, we're so happy to have you on the team.
Thank you.
Shahruz.
Yes. So Remax is the name and the brand. So again, you need tools. You need to have great tools for this industry. You need to have knowledge. You need to have the great brand that you're carrying on your shoulder, and that could be Remax. Because when you, as a new agent, when you go talk with the people and you don't have a great name on yourself, so you have to carry another name, which is the brand that you're working with them, is the Remax. And other than that, Remax is not only one name. So there is lots of opportunities in Remax and lots of training courses, lots of tools that you can use those tools for being successful in your industry.
Yeah, great. Well, glad you've been enjoying it. Thanks so much, Shahruz. Mina, what's your take?
So Remax for me has been absolutely amazing, from my interactions with Cassidy to my managing broker to my other real estate agents. It's been absolutely amazing. The tools available at remax.net have been great as well. I have not heard of my other friends who work at different companies have access to tools such as this. Yeah, definitely recommend Remax.
Well, that's great. You guys are just so professional and you've been so amazing today, like total pros. Thank you so much for being willing to share your knowledge. I think there is so much helpful information that you guys shared for someone that is going to be in your shoes. So I really appreciate you taking the time to come on. Some of the things that jumped up for me here today was just having confidence and taking that leap of faith. Leaning on people with experience, getting your systems setting up, having a goal, really connecting and reconnecting with the people from your database. Those are all such important things. And we see that even in a very, very experienced agent's business, being important too. So appreciate you guys being here. If anyone had any further questions for you, would you be open to someone a new agent reaching out?
Sure. Yep.
Sure.
Okay, amazing. Well, maybe when we're done, you can throw your details in the comment section below so that people can find you. And thanks again, you guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
Cassidy.
Thank you.
See ya.